New at 6, what if every year you could count on your rent only going up, say, $30 or $40 a month? What would that financial security mean to you? Today, renters in a small number of states are protected by rent control or rent stabilization, a law that limits how much a landlord can charge for rent. That practice is prohibited in Virginia. But might it be the answer to creating more affordable housing? Word on the street is clear. People we ran into say their rent is just too darn high.
We live on Earth, so I feel like we shouldn't have to really pay anything.
It's a nice thought, but people are paying, and many tell us it's just too much.
I gotta work more, gotta save up more money.
Keith pays $650 a month for just a room.
I think it should be a cap, where landlords should be able to place things at.
That cap, also known as rent control or rent stabilization, exists in just a handful of states across the country. Currently, it is prohibited in Virginia.
For me and so many others, housing insecurity is an issue that isn't to be trifled with. We want people to have shelter. To me, I believe it's a basic human right.
Former Delegate Jay Jones believes rent control should be part of an all-of-the-above approach to the affordable housing crisis. But he adds there just doesn't seem to be the political will in Richmond these days to address the struggle so many people are facing.
But this is certainly an issue where I think there should be bipartisan support to come together to find a way to make this work for Virginians who are facing a crunch of this nature.
Patrick McLeod is the CEO of the Virginia Apartment Management Association.
Rent control is not the answer.
McLeod's group represents more than 260,000 rental units across the Commonwealth. He says where rent control has been tried, it's failed. He further argues it lowers property values for everyone. McLeod says rents are coming down in Virginia, and more supply would lower them even more.
So everyone has to realize that just like inflation drove up their cost, it drove up the cost of everyone who's providing housing.
Other critics of rent control argue there are few incentives for landlords to keep up the property. One renter told us their unit went up from $1,000 to $1,600 a month. They claim they were given no explanation and saw no upgrades. Other renters told us they feel taken advantage of by their landlords.
That's just too much. For a two-bedroom, you might as well move into a house.
Peter Shaw, retired TCC professor of business administration, has another concern about rising rents.
So it's in the best interest of local government and the real estate industry to take a close look at the labor pool that's being served and making sure you have affordable housing so they can stay here.
Shaw adds if people move away from areas where rents are cheaper, they may find jobs there and leave larger cities struggling to fill critical positions.
I can't see myself living on my own.
But for now, rents are rising and people are being squeezed.
But I also believe that everyone does have a right to housing.
The answer for many may lie in Richmond, but who will speak truth to power in an election year? The average rent increase in 2022 was 14%, according to U.S. Census data. Virginia ranked 5th highest for one-bedroom rent increases in 2022.